Is this thing on? Hi, everyone or anyone. Welcome to my world. If you don't know who I am, y'all gonna learn today. My name is Michelle Locke, aka M Locke on your Insta. And let me tell you a little bit about why I'm here and who I am. I am the definition of don't judge a book by its cover, mainly because of my career in construction. I'm an operating engineer in Local 15, which means I operate all of the big yellow Caterpillar heavy machines on construction sites. So when you see the road blocked off and all the traffic, that is your girl building New York City. But anyway, that's not why we're here today. I was recently casted for a brand new dating show called 5 Guys a Week. It aired on Lifetime TV this summer in 2022. 5 Guys a Week is 20 women that were chosen of all different ages, ranging from 23 to 69 years old, where we invited 5 guys that production chose for us into our home to spend the week there. So this is like a blind date with 5 guys that are sleeping in your house. So let's get into all of behind the scenes details of my episode. Production had reached out to me through email telling me that they were interested in me for a dating show. So I filled out the application and it was a long process of casting. So after we did that, I had to do a Zoom interview with one of the producers, which was recorded. And then after that, they told me that they loved me, that I was gonna be so much fun, and they were excited to do my episode. So they said I'm gonna move on to the next level, which was a 500 question psych evaluation test, which I passed. Surprise! Then I actually had to talk to a psychiatrist for 45 minutes on a Zoom call, and your girl passed that too. After that, we weren't done yet. We had to go get STD tested. So I was like, hold up. These guys are jumping through serious hoops and going to extreme measures just to meet me. And I loved every second of it because this is something that I would want in real life. For a guy to have to get psych evaluated twice and STD tested, bring that on. And this is why I'm single, because I would want the guys to do that before they would even meet me. So that's your first spoiler alert. I did not find love. I did not find anything near it, but having the time of my life on my episode. So if you haven't watched it yet, I suggest that you press pause, hit subscribe, watch my episode on Lifetime, episode 15, Michelle, because if you watch this first, everything's gonna be spoiled. But anyway, let's get into the casting.
Rewind.
So after I got through all of the stages of casting, the director called me and he told me, what would you think if I told you we found the perfect guy for you? He is everything that you want. Everybody in production who has seen the both of you said that you guys are perfect for each other. You're the perfect match. And initially, I was like, but I thought I was getting 5 guys that were my perfect match. And he was like, you are, but this guy is it. So I'm like, did he just ruin this? Am I gonna know right away? Could this be true? when the guys walk in the house, am I gonna know that this is the guy that he's talking about? And then he was like, this guy is really special. We've been saving him for the right one. So I'm like, what does that mean? He's special. Like, who could he be? So now I was really intrigued. So I was supposed to film in the winter, but my house was for sale at the time, and it wasn't going to work out for many reasons, including me selling the house. And they called me and they told me that they were changing everything around. They had a house for me and we were gonna do it in May. I was thrilled. Not only is the weather better in May, it is so hard to do anything in the winter in New York. The weather is like the lotto numbers, 19, 25, 65. It's insane. So the girls that had to film in the winter, it was really difficult to figure out fun activities and things to do leaving the house, given the circumstances, the rules, COVID. So when they told me I was filming in May, I was thrilled. And May happens to be my birthday month. So this literally was the icing on my cake. So they told me not only that I was going on a dating show, but this was my show. I could do whatever I want. I was the boss, and I could have whoever I wanted come on the show with me. It was like a dream. I still can't get over the fact that they just handed me a TV show to do whatever I wanted with. So now let's get into getting ready to film. I met the producer that was going to be my manager 24/7. We hit it off, me and her, right away. We just clicked like we were girls. We spent the night, just the two of us, talking over dinner before we started filming the next day. It was so nice. She took me out. She actually took me to my very first seafood boil, which I loved. I love doing new things, and I actually really liked it. It was so good. I haven't had any since, so I'm due. But we had a good time. We talked, we laughed. We actually closed the restaurant down. We were there for hours. So the next day, I had to be camera ready. I had to have my hair done, my makeup done. Everything was always done by myself. So we get to the house and everyone is in there, the crew, and they're decorating the house because they said that you need bright, vibrant colors. It looks good on camera. And I was like, well, I don't like bright colors. My house is neutral, gray, white, a little bit of beige. I like to live like a dollhouse. I like it to look, I have OCD. Like I like it to look like no one lives there. So now I start freaking out because I go into my bedroom and I see they're hanging bright paintings on the wall. They're putting a mustard comforter set on my bed with like a bird, like a peacock. I don't even know. I was horrified. I was like, wait a second. This is what people are gonna think, that this is like my taste, even though it's a country home. No. Thank God it was reversible and I flipped it over on the other side and it was like a really beautiful blue color. So now I go downstairs in the kitchen and I start putting things away because I don't like clutter, and I'm like, wait, this can't happen. And we're getting down to go time where we're about to start filming and the guys are gonna show up. So I'm like cleaning the house, putting things away, and then they're like, wait, before the guys come, we have something really fun for you to do. And I was like, okay, what? They're like, we're gonna give you an iPad and you're gonna see a bunch of pictures like you're on a dating site of guys that may or may not come into this house. Bring it on. I need to see what these faces are gonna look like. Whether they are or they're not coming, I need to work with something here. They give me the iPad and I am swiping and they're like, say something out loud about each guy. I was like horrified because these guys were nothing that I would like, and I would swipe to the left in real life. So don't even get me started about dating apps. Hate it. Don't like the fact that we're supposed to just choose by a still photo on how we would have a connection with someone, or maybe they would be a good fit. There is so much to a person. I cannot stand that we only have dating apps where it's just still pictures. But let's not even get into that. Now they have like little videos, which is better. They're getting better, but I hate it. I hate dating. I can't even find someone that I like on my own. So I trusted these people to find 5 guys that are strictly my type, anything that, you know, I would love physically, mentally, deal breakers I gave them. So I had high hopes of these men that were walking in the door. So when I saw this iPad of these guys, I was freaking out because they were nothing that I liked just from the still picture. And then I got to a guy that I actually knew and I met already. And I was like, there is no way this is happening. Do not tell me. Who would that happen to? And he's on my dating show as one of these guys. So I met him out. We danced. He was an amazing dancer. He was attractive. Not my usual type, but close to it. Handsome. If you could dance, that is like a deal breaker. I mean, I love a man that can dance. I love to dance. Dancing is my therapy. People need psychiatrists and medicine and therapy. I need music and dancing and singing. I'm good. A man that can dance, there is nothing sexier than that. So I already knew what he was in real life because we met, we even kissed at the end of our Dancing with the Stars performance. And he followed me on Instagram. This is like the same thing that everybody does. You follow each other on Instagram. And he never did anything about it. He never messaged me. He never contacted me. He never tried to take me out. What is wrong with the picture here? Why do people do that? Can someone give me an answer? If you're single and you actually get lucky enough to meet someone in person that you vibe with, you click, you even kissed, but you just never do anything about it, I don't understand it. So I knew what he was. If he wasn't about it in real life, why, if he came through the door, is he really gonna be about it now? So I kept scrolling, and then I saw this really handsome man. He was so my type. I was really hoping that he was coming into the house. So the iPad's over, and now the doorbell is ringing, and the first guy is here. I have anxiety. I feel like I can't breathe right now just thinking about this moment. I don't know how I kept myself composed, because one thing about me is my face is gonna say it all. I cannot hide anything. Every time I opened the door, I was more and more disappointed because these guys were everything that I told production that I would not like, I wouldn't be attracted to. And it wasn't just looks. It was also, their way of living, what they like to do, deal breakers. And I'm like, am I getting punked that every time I open the door, they're giving me everything I said that I don't want? The last guy comes, and who do you think it is? RJ. RJ is the guy that I already knew. Figures. Welcome to my world. Stranger things have happened to me. So I was happy that RJ showed up only because he was the only guy that was remotely my type that we could flirt and we had somewhat of a connection. I mean, I did dance with him and kiss him already in real life. So nobody knew that. So now I was really disappointed because they kind of got into like a bromance right away. They were all so into each other. It was very concerning. And then shortly, they all were very disrespectful and they made sexual comments to me. So now I'm in a house with men that I would not even acknowledge in real life, and they're being disrespectful. And the first thing that Josh had said to me is, we were talking about my career in construction, and I made a joke and I was like, yeah, I pull the sticks at work or for a living, which I do. In the machine, work with joysticks, I work with my feet, I work with my whole body. So he took that opportunity to say, well, do you play with sticks often? Who says that? I was like, no, actually I don't, and that's why I'm here. And then they cut it at that. The rest of my sentence was, but talking like that will get you kicked out of this house real quick. They cut that out. They cut out a lot of stuff. They cut out a lot of my personality. They cut out a lot of funny things. We had such a good time. We had a lot of laughs, but that's not what I was there for. Really thinking that professionals were finding me 5 guys that I would have a really hard time choosing one, and that was not the case. Then Dave had a little conversation with me in private. I was in my room getting ready. The guys were downstairs, and it made me feel better about Dave, because Dave came in and I did not like his attitude. He was just cocky, and I don't know, I just got a really bad vibe. And I even said it to him, which they didn't show, that I said, I did not like you at all. I wanted to send you home the second that you walked in the door. And he was very shocked that I would say that. So when we had a little one-on-one time, it made me change my view on him a little bit and warm up to him a little bit more, but he ruined that really quickly. It was so hot in the house. You have no idea. I'm a hot person, but can you imagine trying to look good while you're sweating in 95 degrees? No air conditioning in the house. It was 95 degrees in the house. I was freaking out. How am I supposed to have my makeup and my hair done while I'm dripping? So difficult. But besides the fact of that, Dave made a comment and was like, when we were walking downstairs, he's like, are you cold? And he chuckled. So I was really confused because I'm like, we're all dying and sweating. That was my first thought. Until I realized he was making a disrespectful, corny, sexual comment about my body because I was wearing no bra at the time. Really? You're 37 years old. That's what you're gonna say? So I had it at this point with the disrespect. And then when I watched my episode, it all makes sense because the first thing that he said that he noticed about me was that I had a nice rack. Really, dude? That's what you say? And then RJ, what's the first thing you notice about Michelle? Oh, she has a big butt. I'm a butt guy, so it'll work. 41, single. So now you guys have an idea of the mentality of what I was dealing with. So it runs deeper than just physical attraction. But if you don't have physical attraction, what do you have? You have nothing. Even if you're married for 30 years and you lose that, what do you have? You can't ever lose the spark. They always pulled me into the interview and they were like, rate the guys, who's first, who's second, who's last. And it was always RJ, obviously. Like, my manager would just roll her eyes. She would be like, RJ, like, we know. And I was like, well, I'm victimized by my taste in men, and I'm just gonna choose the wrong man as usual. Well, RJ's still number one. I was like, my mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes. And I belted it out, and my manager covered her mouth with both of her hands because she actually was getting in trouble for laughing at me so much during filming because you would hear her cackling in the background. So she covered her mouth. I don't even know how I got it out. And I even sang when they were talking about Dave, and they were like, how do you feel that Dave has you in a Air 69 position? And I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I am scared for my life. I'm a big girl and I'm afraid he's gonna drop me. It's raining men, hallelujah. I'm loving it. They didn't show me singing anything. They cut out so much personality and so many funny things, but I'm like one of the guys, so of course I could have fun with a bunch of guys. I mean, I work in construction. I'm always the only woman for the most part, and I wasn't there to have fun and be one of the guys. I was there for a dating experience. So don't get it twisted. I'm not complaining. We had a ball. We had so much fun. We laughed. And even if they were disrespectful, they wound up apologizing because I sat them all down in the living room. They didn't show that, where I was pissed. And I told them all. I was like, at this point, everyone has said something disrespectful to me. So then that changed the tune. They all apologized, but whatever. We had a great time. So all of the guys got me a gift. And at this point, we're having fun. We're drinking all day. All the other episodes that I watched, everybody wakes up in the morning and they're having like coffee and tea. And here we are with our mimosas and vodka Red Bull. So we were having a grand old time. So at one point, Joe had taken me aside to give me the gift that he brought for me. And I got really emotional because he made a song for me. He wrote the lyrics, he sang the words, he even made the actual music, the entire song. So they took our phones away when we were filming. We weren't allowed to have our phones. So they gave him the famous iPad that I was looking at the pictures of the guys on to play the song for me. I got so emotional and I was a little tipsy that I actually shed a tear because in my mind, I was like, oh my God, maybe the right guy for me is just not my type. Maybe he's a blonde with blue eyes and nothing's ever gonna work out because I would never go for that type of guy. So I cried. And it doesn't mean that these guys, if they're blonde hair, blue eyes, or they're not my type, it doesn't mean that they're not a handsome man. It's just not what I like or what I go for. Not being shallow, but you have to have a physical attraction. That is so important. If you don't have that, you certainly cannot make it happen. I've tried that before and thinking maybe because someone's a nice guy, you'll eventually get attracted. It doesn't work. So then RJ gives me a gift and it's a plant. And I was shocked. I was like, this man can keep plants alive? I don't even know how he keeps himself alive. I don't keep plants alive. I am horrible. I kill them all. I even kill the bamboo plants, which people say you can't kill. I've killed them. I really was going to try my best to take this plant home and for once not kill it. Not because it was from RJ, just like as a personal mission to see if I can actually not kill a plant. So while I followed him back very shortly after filming, he posted on his story that he made 8 other of the same plants that he gifted me. And he was asking who wants one. I was like, I'm unfollow. Boy, bye. The plant that RJ gave me, I didn't even have to kill. My best friend Bridget, who came on the show, her cat ate it. So that's that. There were so many funny scenes that they didn't show. Like there was a volleyball court in the backyard and it was sand and the guys had a tournament. They were going in, they were diving headfirst. They were diving out of the volleyball court of the sand into bushes and dirt. It was hilarious. They didn't show that. There was a pool table. We played pool, of course. Like I had to jump on the pool table. I love music. I love Pop Smoke. I love lyrics. Everything is like referred to that. I jump on the pool table and I put like the cue behind my back and it was the 8-ball that I had to get in. And I was like, 8-ball corner pocket. They cut out a lot of personality, not only with me, but with the guys as well. They clogged the toilet, and everybody was like, RJ, just want to let you know, our bathroom, the toilet is clogged. Don't go to the bathroom in there. Literally 3 seconds later, you hear him coming down the steps. He's like, guys, I messed up. I'm sorry. I literally spit my drink out. I laughed so hard. They just told him that the toilet was clogged. He went up there and went number 2 in the clogged toilet. He's like, don't worry, guys. I'm cleaning it up. There's no turds on the floor. There's only water. So we were just like, we were cracking up. The guys are hilarious. They have good personalities to be friends with and hang out with, but that's as far as it went. So then we went to the nightclub and it went 0 to 100 real quick. The guys were stripping for me. Their shirts were off. Dave was dancing on top of the bar with no shirt. RJ had me lifted up. Before I knew it, he threw me to Dave, who jumped off the bar and flipped me upside down. And all I could think of was, I'm fearing for my life right now. I don't know how, but I back bridged my way out of the 69 position in the air safely. And then we get back to the house. Dave passes out on the couch. Out cold from the club. We kept the party going. I, at this point, had one-on-one time with everybody but RJ, who was the only one that I wanted to have one-on-one time with. So I told him, get a bathing suit, meet me in my room. Nobody knew that I had a jacuzzi in my bathroom in my room. So RJ comes upstairs, we have our drinks, we have the candles lit in the bubble jacuzzi. He puts the bubbles on, RJ puts the jets on and it shoots water right into my eye. I think they show like a second of me just like covering my face and laughing. So we were just having a grand old time. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. RJ gets out of the jacuzzi, he's soaking wet, and he takes his bathing suit off and he was like, do you have shorts for me? I was like, what? Why would I have shorts for you? I was looking through my drawers. I was like, these like spandex, they were like this big. He's like, yeah, those are good. He puts on my shorts and lays in my bed, soaking wet. Didn't even dry himself off, by the way. I'm like, what are you doing? Get up. He was like, oh, come on, don't make me sleep on an air mattress. I was like, get out of my bed. Hell no. I was like, what are you using me to just sleep in a comfortable bed? Get out. It was like the sun was coming up at this point. I didn't want to argue. He was not budging. So I barricaded us with pillows in the middle of the bed. I was like, don't touch me. And I passed out. I jumped up after a few hours, realizing he's still in my bed. If these guys wake up and see him in my bed, what do you think they're gonna think? I snuck around the house. The guys were sleeping with their bedroom doors shut. I tiptoed down the stairs. Dave was still passed out on the couch. I was like, this is perfect. They're never gonna know. Run upstairs quietly. I'm like, get up, RJ, get up.
It's like 5 more minutes.
I'm like, get up, get out now. He stumbles down the stairs in my shorts with his towel, passes out on the couch next to Dave. I come downstairs a few hours later, everyone's awake and they're like, what did you do to RJ last night? Mind you, they're saying this when he's passed out on the couch. Imagine if they saw him in my bed. Thank God. So then we're laughing because they couldn't figure out why Dave had makeup on his pants on the crotch. Well, it's because Dave put me in a 69 position and actually got my face imprinted on his crotch and his pants. They didn't show any of this. But now that filming is over, I am more concerned with where's the guy from the iPad? I literally asked production as we were leaving, getting in our Ubers, done filming for the episode. I'm like, wait, but where is so-and-so? Like, how do I find him? And they just laughed. And I was like, no, but really, like, does he even exist? Well, he did exist because when the show aired, he ended up on another girl's episode. Shortly after his episode aired, and I realized that he was the mystery man from my iPad, we started talking, and we are still talking, and we keep telling each other how we are the ideal perfect person. So we've decided to go on a first date, but this is not your ordinary first date. He is flying me to his hometown. I'm gonna land and put my heels on, and we're gonna go straight to dinner. Is this real life? He exists and he's flying me out? I am living in a daydream. Your girl is not done yet. So if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed my episode, then click the subscribe button down below. Stay tuned because I need to pack my bags for my first date. Your girl's about to catch a flight.